get full use of the arm, they said, to go with the brain interface. No nerves left to send the impulses to a hand otherwise, no matter how fancy. He understood. How do I use it? You don't, not for a while, but they were able to attach it right away. Used to be they'd wait for the stump to heal before fitting you, but this they said they had to go ahead and put in. You don't have a stump anyway. His father chopped at his own shoulder as an indicator. You're lucky you still have a head. He wondered what the other options had been, if there had been any. It made sense that his parents would choose this. Theirs had always been the first farm in Saskatchewan for every new technology. His parents believed in automation. They liked working the land with machines, gritting it with spreadsheets and databases, tilling the fields from the comfort of the office. He was the throwback. He liked the sun on his face. He kept a team of shires for plowing and used their manure for fertilizer. He had his father's old diesel combine for harvest time, his biggest concession to speed and efficiency. And now it had taken his arm. He didn't know if that was an argument for his horses and tractors, or his parents' self-guided machines. The machines would take out your fence if you programmed the coordinates wrong, but unless your math was really off, they probably wouldn't make it into your office. On the other hand, now a Pinsker. It had been his own stupid fault he had reached into the stuck header. Andy's world shrank to the size of a hospital room. He stood by the window and read the weather, and fought the urge to call his parents, who were taking care of his small farm next to theirs in his absence. Had they finished harvesting before the frost? Had they moved the chicken run closer to the house? He had to trust them. The doctor weaned him off the pain medications quickly. "You're a healthy guy," she said. "Better to cope than get hooked on opiates." Andy nodded, figuring he could handle it. He knew the aches of physical labor, of days when you worked until you were barely standing, and then a shire shifted his weight and broke your foot, and you still had to get up and work again the next day. Now his body communicated a whole new dialect of pain. Aches wrapped in aches, throbbing in parts that didn't exist anymore. He learned to articulate the difference between stinging and stabbing pains, between soreness and tenderness. When the worst of it had broken over him, an endless prairie storm, the doctor gave the go-ahead for him to start using his arm. "You're a fast learner, buddy," his occupational therapist told him when he had mastered closing the hand around a toothbrush. Brad was a big Assiniboine guy, only a couple of years older than Andy and relentlessly enthusiastic. "Tomorrow you can try dressing yourself." Fast is relative. Andy put the toothbrush down, then tried to pick it up again. He knocked it off the table. Brad smiled but didn't make a move for the fallen toothbrush. "It's a process, eh? Your muscles have new roles to learn. Besides, once you get through these things, the real fun begins with that rig." The real fun would be interesting, if he ever got there. The special features. He would have to learn to interpret the signal from the camera on the wrist, feeding straight into his head. There were flashlights and body telemetry readings to turn off and on. He looked forward to the real tests for those features, seeing into the dark corners of an engine, turning a breech calf. Those were lessons worth sticking around for. Andy bent down and concentrated on closing his hand on the toothbrush handle. Just before he was due to go home, an infection sank its teeth in under his armpit. The doctor gave him antibiotics and drained the fluid. That night, awash in fever, he dreamed his arm was a highway. The feeling stuck with him when he woke. Andy had never wanted much. He had wanted Lori to love him forever and ever, but she didn't, and that was that. As a child, he'd asked for the calf with the blue eyes.